Hello all and welcome back to the Walrus Plays Brotato. I've been going through and playing through as a few of the other characters of late, and I'm currently debating trying to achieve the next difficulty challenge. And I'm thinking I'm going to give it a try as the Doctor. So we're on to Danger 4 here, starting with a single medical gun. Now, my logic for the Doctor is the health regeneration bonuses that this character gets might keep me alive. So for that, I'm probably going to want to focus on dodge and HP. Normally, considering the low attack speed that the Doctor suffers based on non-medical weapons, I would consider originally maybe I want to increase that. But thinking about it a little bit more, potentially logically, if I ignore other weapons and only focus on medical tools, then I can just maximize what I'm going for. Now, that being said, I have just held a wrench in because I want turrets as well. It's something I've always found pretty much since playing as the engineer, that a number of points into engineering can give you just an extra bit of survivability. But we'll have to see on this one that what might work well. Now, the Doctor gets double health regeneration bonuses, so probably going to sink some more into that. Ooh, let's go with some ranged damage for now. Okay. So the next thing I'm thinking about doing is, one of the things I've noticed is that previously I would try to upgrade the weapons as fast as possible. Because of the way that the stacking bonuses works, though, I'm kind of debating whether actually not upgrading the weapons until you have 6 is actually the better choice. Especially for the Doctor, again, being the number of medical tools that you have, it gives you a health regeneration boost. Which, well, considering that's a big thing for me, that might work better. Reroll again. I'm going to go with some luck for that one, and then some engineering to improve my turrets. I think what I'm going to then start looking at doing next, oh, that's good, is focusing on the HP and dodge, because they're the two that'll probably keep me alive. Now, a dodge I can get up to 60, but if I can dodge 60% of all attacks, well, that's a significant less amount of damage that I've actually taken. And as the movie does quote, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. And that's going to be something I'm going to try and do. But for now, the 4 medical guns seem to be doing reasonably well at chipping their way through the enemies. I do like to generally have at least one weapon that's a melee ranged weapon. And that's mostly because I look at it and think that because they tend to do a sweep attack area that allows me to hit a number of targets, it should, in theory, allow me to hit a number of enemies and either kill them or just keep them away from me. If I can up my knockback as well, that'll be doubly useful for that. Now, I chose the lowered speed but the ugly tooth because I'm looking at the ability to slow down the enemies that are going to be chasing me. But for now, let's see what we can do. Now, one of the other things that I haven't actually done yet is still the 10 trees alive at the end of a wave. Now, I don't know what the best way about doing that is, because of course I still need to try and get a couple of the more trees spawn upgrades, otherwise I can't do it. Okay, so we'll have -1 armor. So, amusingly, because of the way the Doctor works and half the armor penalties and bonuses, still counts as 0, so I'm all good. Well, this is where actually secretly it has an integer overload and it all ends really badly. Okay, I'm going to go for the engineering upgrade there. Let's take some coffee. And we'll take the head injury. The schmoop might be quite useful because it's HP regeneration and HP. Ooh, a missile launcher. Okay. Now, the attack speed I've got is not amazing because it is going to mean that I will do theoretically less damage. because of it. But when it comes to hordes of enemies, it might kind of tip me over, because it'll allow me to just do a large quantity of damage to a large group. So hopefully that'll work out. And if I can also upgrade my attack speed, then that's great. And it's not my primary focus is attack speed, because again, I'm really using these medical weapons. You can see that, I mean, the medical gun seems to be doing quite well for me. Plus the range boost that a number of gun type weapons gives you is very handy. Of course, now that I'm playing on the Challenge 4, there are going to be a number of new weird and wonderful enemies spawning, so I am a little bit aware of that as a consideration at the moment. So let's combine that one. We'll grab that. We'll grab the schmoop. We'll grab that turret later. And, oh man, there's a missile launcher upgrade right away. I mean, it'd be really fun if I can get myself another level 2 missile launcher, then I can end up with a red missile launcher, tier 4 one. Right off the bat. What I'd really like to see in the shop is the anvil, because then I could just wander into the shop and just upgrade a weapon for free, just for finishing a wave. And that would be great. So currently it seems to be going okay. We're beginning to get to the point where some of the enemies are becoming a bit quite tough. I think I need to increase my damage stat and maybe just range damage generally. But otherwise it's going okay. Haven't been taking a silly amount of damage, but I think the schmoop, of course, giving me a lot of benefits in the long run, still is potentially in the short term kind of acting to hinder me. Okay, so a life steal, but -1 elemental. Yeah, I'll give that a go. We'll take some more dodge. So we're at 18% dodge. It's not amazing, but it'll do. So I'm going to scrap that one, take the bigger one. And, ooh, we'll have more trees, and we'll keep that and keep that. So, let's see how well this goes now. So we've got a couple of turrets now, which is good. And, depending on if I find more wrenches, I might swap the wrench out. But, being able to slap down more turrets is always handy. Ooh, a box. Now, one of the things I have done recently is I played through as the lucky character again to see if I could actually achieve this. I failed, as you can probably tell, because otherwise I would have completed difficulty 4. But the way that the lucky character works out, because again, slower attack speed, but does damage based on picking up stuff. It's the benefits of being lucky that give you more boxes from trees and enemies and all sorts. So it's just being careful. So you can see the health regeneration capability of the Doctor is, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, it's keeping me alive, which is kind of the main thing, isn't it? So we'll get rid of that. Okay, so attack speed is kind of handy as a possibility, but I really want dodge or HP. Let's go with the HP because I haven't got as much as I kind of need right now. On to the next. Okay, so wave 9. So this one's probably going to be an easy enough wave because it's hordes of low-level enemies, which the missile launcher is going to come in particularly helpful here. Now, I'm sure it's actually called a rocket launcher because, oh god, what's the differentiation? Is it that a rocket launcher is guided and a missile launcher is... or is it the other way around? I always forget. But there is a differentiation, and it's one of those things that I can never remember off the top of my head. But just in case somebody wants to be Captain Pedantic, which, unfortunately, my brain is being Captain Pedantic and going, you need to find out. This is where I'm going to have to look it up afterwards. Or what's probably more likely to happen is I'm rambling about it now whilst I record and set everything up, and then when I upload the video, I'll have forgotten. And my brain will be focusing on something else that's new and shiny, which may be something completely unrelated. Who knows? Okay, crit chance is good, but we are after dodge and HP. 3% dodge? Now let's give it one more reroll. Ugh, fine, we'll take the attack speed and reroll. Reroll. Fine, we'll have the lower dodge. So that's interesting. I mean, the riposte could work out quite well for me. We'll go with the improved tools, because if we can lock them in, for now at least. Oh, hello. Critical hits drain 10%. Deal extra damage. Okay, so my crit chance is low, so that might not actually be very viable for me right now. But, you know, I shouldn't have locked it in, because the build that I'm going for isn't based around crits. It's a cool item, but it's not that helpful to me at this point, so it was a fool's errand on that one. Now, if I can improve my attack speed as well, then of course my turrets will start being able to fire faster. But again, that's not a primary focus of mine. It's the dodge, the HP, and I think I need to start putting some points into range damage. Because as you can see, I'm beginning to struggle against some of the enemies. Because range damage hasn't really popped up as a thing for me to grab. So maybe that'll be where I kind of focus in on for a little bit after this. The health regeneration seems to be going okay, though. And it is keeping me going. But I do have to be very careful. Okay, wave complete. Terrified onion, speed but low luck. No, we'll have. Dodge, excellent. So I'm not going to take that. I am going to buy the improved tools. I know they're going to actually hinder my turrets for the moment. But, okay, so we'll take the helmet, even though I know that doesn't really do much for me right now. So we'll have the minus 5% enemy speed, and reroll one more time. None of them excite me. So we've now got the laser turret rather than the missile, not the missile, sorry, the basic turret or the flame turret for me, which is, again, an extra bit of potent damage, because the engineering is just going to give me constant extra damage. And that's really why they're there for me. Like, I can't use them actively, but if I can circle enemies around them or keep enemies within range of them, then it'll seem to work out okay, which is really what I'm going for with them. So, fingers crossed. Okay, now sit down and go away. Silly enemies. One of the other things I'm also considering is if more of the medical tools start being offered, such as some of the melee medical tools like the saw, which is, again, quite a large sweeping attack damage, that might be really handy for me. Because, well, once again, medical tools are really the weapon of choice for me. And, ooh, that was very, very close. Okay, we'll take the garden, recycle that. So, nope. Range damage. Let's go with some more of that, because we do need more. Oh my goodness, okay. We now have a missile turret, just because we have a horde on wave 12, so that's right now. So this could work out in my favour, one can hope. Because if we get lots of small enemies, and we've got a missile launcher in one hand, we've got a missile turret just sitting there, it could work out okay. Because it should hopefully give me a lot of extra money coming in. Okay. Now, the reason I'm not focusing on armour so much is because of the 50% reduction in its effectiveness at playing as the Doctor. But at the same time, 50% of armour is still better than no armour. And maybe if I start seeing some big stat armour boosts, maybe I should start grabbing those because, oh, good grief, that's a lot of enemies. But at the same time, the dodge might save my backside, but I can't really just rely on avoiding hits. Oh, goodness gracious, 6 more seconds. Come on, we can do it. Ooh, that's uncomfortable. That is very uncomfortable. Okay, so we did okay. So 2 extra armor. Yeah, we'll take that. Let's take 9 extra HP. We'll take the Tyler. Yeah. Increased damage to bosses and elites. That'll be handy. Okay. So it doesn't. We're not killing things instantly, but we've got the turrets that are doing a bit of extra damage. We've got, that lightning blast Tyler turret, which is pretty good. It's just trying to see if we can get anything extra. Now these tentacles do have a lot of health, don't they? They are quite absurdly tough. Very, very tanky. Very annoying. But again, we're just trying to gather as many of the resources as we can physically grab off the floor and hope for the best, really. Do really need more in the dodge front as well, though, because the dodge is okay right now, but if we can get it above 50, I really do want to max out the dodge. And to be fair, I'd also really like to get something that can give me more effect from dodge. I think there are a couple of items that give you a secondary effect based on your dodge stat. I mean, a good attack speed boost would be really nice. But, hey, we can see what we can find. So, let's re-roll that. 12% speed. That might save my posterior. So we're going to go with this one for the increase on elemental damage and HP regeneration. But minus 10% enemies, which isn't bad, but a lower damage. So I really need to start cracking points into damage now that... Oh, there's a boss. Well, not a boss, sorry, an elite. So we'll keep it at bay. And I don't think we're going to kill it, but as long as we can avoid it for 48 seconds, we should be okay. It's taking a bit of damage, but it's not enough damage to kill it. It's also dodging all of the shots that are coming in from the little green aliens with their... Well, purple aliens with the green trim. Those ones, because that's quite annoying. Okay, so we're getting... It's mutated now to the ring of shot. Oh, that wasn't clever. Oh, goodness. Oh, my lummy daisy. This is very uncomfortable. I'm not enjoying this. Thankfully, I'm kind of glad I took that 12% speed boost, because it might save my bum here. Because this is getting very sketchy in the way of damage coming in. Come on. Come on. Oh, that was uncomfortable. Ugh. Okay. No. Range damage? Oof. I kind of need it, to be fair. Slow down enemies. Wow, I've really not got much, have I? Okay, so that wave I really couldn't gather much, could I? It was kind of stuck on that. Well, let's see. I mean, wave 15's... we've still got... Wave 18's got another elite. And then wave 20 is where we need to get to actually consider having beat the game. Well, sorry, we need to complete wave 20. And... Ooh, the easy way of doing that is to not eat bullets like that, because my goodness, did I just wander into those shots. Oh, goodness gracious, those little blighters, they're just zooming around like little mad creatures. So, again, I really need to be careful, but it's easier said than done, considering my general idiocy. Oh, goodness. Come on. Be gone. Well, 5 seconds. Again, the life steal effect of the guns is coming in very handy. Okay, we're going to take some more attack speed. Now, again, we need some damage. Okay, so we're going to up the damage up slightly. Ah, now this could be handy. The fairy for increased health regeneration. We take that, we increase our health regeneration. We don't want the sharp bullet right now. But if I take the sad tomato as well, I'll start at 27 health, but look at that. It's almost at full. There we go, already at full health. So... that should mean if I get hit, as long as I don't get hit in rapid succession, I should have the capability of surviving. The trouble now is I've got to figure out a good way of clearing through lots of tough enemies like these. And of course that little lumpy thing there keeps upgrading the enemies with stat boosts and making them tougher. We don't need that. That's very annoying. Because, of course, if they're tougher to kill, then they take more time for me to remove. I don't want to be dealing with that. Oop, go away, charging thing. Those big horrible ones and their charging attack is very tough to avoid sometimes. Especially when you're not paying attention, like I am most of the time. My theory is that if I can run around in circles, I can generally avoid the enemies. But I do need to change that up every now and again. Okay, speed and life steal. Yes, we'll have some of that. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more... do we want the damage or dodge? Come on. Range damage. That's even better. Okay, life steal but minus knockback. Okay, a circular saw. Yes, I want that. I'll take the other fin, actually. So -2 on the luck is not great, but a 37 speed, it's not... I mean, it's not groundbreaking amount of speed, but it is going to give me the ability to avoid some of the enemies. I'm not going to have Jeremy Clarkson screaming about the speed. And as you may be able to do, I can't do a Jeremy Clarkson impression. It's one of the unfortunate trade-offs that I have with most of the voice acting work that I've done in the past has been, oh, that wasn't very clever. There was a tangent there, but yes, what I was going to try to say is most of the voice acting work that I've done has been just using my bass voice more for advertising rather than actual acting per se, as being characters. Because I can't do impersonations very well. It's not something that I've never been trained to do, because I know that some people who are more professional than I am, definitely by a long shot, so I do know a few, they have the ability to change accents around, but then some do play into the way that their voice sounds and go with that is their role, and they'll go with it. But that's kind of how that goes, isn't it? Right, still not enough to buy that circular saw. That's annoying. We'll take the gecko, though. And we'll buy the broken mouth. Okay, so we're healing up. So we have another elite. Oh, that looks awfully tyrannidy, doesn't it? Being that when I played a lot of Warhammer, Tyranids were a big faction I really enjoyed. It kind of looks like an older artwork where some of them look very slug-like. It's the armor, the way the headgear and the arm, well, not even arm, probably not arms really, but the armor plates that are on the side kind of look. Oh, goodness gracious, there's a little bugger there with the knobbly ones giving all the buffs away again. Oh, lummy daisy. I'm probably not going to be able to afford the really nice circular saw before the end of wave 20, I don't think. Oh, goodness gracious. So, yeah, I'm going to do wave 20 on endless mode, I think, because it'd be nice to see how far I can get through on this one, if I get there, which is looking less and less. Oh, okay. Well, we got to wave 19 now. Yeah. Okay, well, I think I might actually have to take the medal, hold the gun in, and off we go. Wave 19. We need more money. We really need more money. Harvesting has been something I haven't really focused on. I haven't really seen very many things that give a lot of bonus harvesting, really. I haven't seen any tractors or anything, but that is something to kind of consider as well, is that harvesting, I hadn't really anticipated and appreciated how effective it can be, because if you have a high harvesting stat, you'll gain levels at the end of the wave because you've harvested extra resources. So if I fail at this, maybe that could be something I could look at for the next attempt. Again, the health regeneration is doing me okay, because the lifesteal is still 1. The health regeneration is the 2s that are popping up on screen, because the Doctor does gain a double benefit from it, so they heal 2 rather than just 1. So you can see that it is just about keeping me alive. 5 more seconds. Can we manage it? There we go. Okay, so we've got 511. So we take the bag. Let's take the head injury for a bit more damage. Okay. Take the attack speed. Okay, so I'm going to combine these two into that one, and then I'm going to take the circular saw and then try on for endless. Here we go. Well, there's the enemy. Probably, again, not going to kill it, but I'm hoping I can tank it and just avoid taking too much damage and actually fight my way past it so that I complete wave 20. Okay, well, I managed to dodge the poorly dodged by myself shots. There we go. I dodged them that time with my own ability. And I think I dodged one of the enemies or one of the shots. I'm not sure. Okay, and now again, I'm still not kind of relying on... Well, I'm trying to think of what the best way of describing it is. I'm not trying to rely on killing it. It's just on surviving at this point. 17 seconds to go. Well, if I achieve it in the next 17 seconds, then that's pretty good, because that will mean that I've managed to complete difficulty wave 4, which, hey, that's good. Then there's only one more difficulty to do, and I think this... There we go. So I think that will actually unlock another character for me. I don't know what that is, but hey, it's kind of cool. So I'm going to recycle the insanity. So we will take that, And buy that. And I'm hold on to the banner for now. Take another head injury. The crit chance isn't where I'm kind of trying to focus. Because although critical hits are good, increasing the damage, I haven't focused on it. So I don't really have a viable choice in that. But for now, it seems to be going okay. Now, if I hadn't had so many turrets, possibly trees would be a thing that I could really put lots down and hope for the best on. I mean, I might still be able to manage to get the 10 alive at the end. Well, 10 trees up at the end of a round. There's 2. I'm not expecting to get to achieve that, considering oh no, not anymore. I'm trying to avoid the trees, but I'm still also trying to avoid the enemies. But maybe I'll cut down the trees right now. I think also trying to do it on difficulty 4 is probably not the best sensible of plans. I should probably try and do that on a difficulty 0. I don't know what character might be best for it though. I did think that maybe the Explorer might be quite good for it because they automatically have more trees spawning. But the trade-off is they always come with the Lumberjack shirt, meaning that they instantly kill trees when they just give them a slight slap. So, not quite as good as I'd hoped. So let's take the glass cannon, yes please. Because currently we have an armor of 0. And I can live with that. For a big increase on damage, which is... okie dokie then. That's alarming. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'm stuck in a circle right now. There we go, get out of it. Go away. No, shoo. I mean, those things are horrible little bat-winged creatures, aren't they? Again, though, as long as I don't get hit in rapid succession or by a single attack that can take me particularly low, the health regeneration and the health steal from the medical tools does seem to be doing me okay. I still want to increase my dodge, though, because I want to be able to run through enemies like this and not die, but also mainly so I can try and harvest more of the materials that are dropped. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up struggling to afford anything, because I think that's kind of one of the big things that you do struggle with later game is you see all this really shiny cool gear in the shop, but you can't afford it because you just haven't killed enough. So we'll take this. So the attack speed's getting there. Reroll. Metal detector, yeah, we'll have that. Okay, so let's keep going. What would be good is like a couple of like the vigilante rings giving you a flat 3% buff onto your damage constantly. It's the sort of thing that if you could get early on in the game, which is very unlikely, but I guess if you were playing as the lucky character, you might be able to. Because of the increased likelihood of gaining the chests, crates, whatever you want to call them, but also the quality of the item is improved by your luck stat, I believe. So it's a possibility, unlikely, but maybe a nice one if you did manage it. Because that way, even as I have noticed that you can stack them, because I've had 2 vigilante rings at the same time, giving you a flat 6% boost after each wave. And that's pretty damn good. Because that... oh dear. Well, I've died. Not the end of the world. We've managed to achieve... so we now have danger 5, new enemies appearing, new hordes and enemies appear, elites are stronger, more elites and hordes appear, and 2 bosses appear at once. Great! Just, oh my goodness. And we've unlocked the Knight. Increased melee damage based on your armor. Can't equip ranged weapons. It can only equip tier 2 or above. That's interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Well, that's curious. Well, that is the end of this run. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please do give us a like, share, or subscribe. It's always good. And thank you very much to my patrons on Patreon. And hopefully I will catch you all again the next time the Walrus plays Brotato.